But this is what I've been doing. I've been using ChatGPT to give me like reference photos or reference images. So, because I can spend literally hours looking for reference images when I'm looking for things to draw, and I lose time that way when really the main focus is for me to just draw. So this way I don't get lost in that. So I tell ChatGPT to give me a prompt. And I'm still teaching it. So like for this one, it wants to give me a scene in the background. Well, for an 8x8, that's not really going to work unless I stick with the 8x8 subject and just do, or it's addictive. Like once you start using it, use it for more and more and more. All right, so we're gonna go with this one. One of the things I struggle with it is that it often wants to give me reference images in pixel art style, and I'm like, don't give it to me in pixel art style. Then you're just doing all the work for me. I had it giving me the, oh, that's adorable. I'm impressed so easily. All right. Let's get that guy in there. I can probably just squeeze him in this way. And this way. Move the camera up. It is a cute little alien. And then the timer needs to be below him. Or maybe not. I'll just do it this way. One day I'll get all this worked out and I'll learn how to do these things. You stream though. What do you stream on? You stream on Twitch? It is like a potato chip. So what do you use to stream on Twitch? Well, when you did, what did you use? Did you use like an additional software? I mean, like, I'm so old. I've watched a little bit of Twitch. I haven't really done anything on the back end. So you have, yes, you used OBS and Twitch Studio? Okay. I don't know. It's all too complicated. Eventually I'll learn it. If I sit down and do it on a regular basis, which I should be doing. I saved on a desktop, that's why. Ha. There we go. One thing at a time. Got my big alien. Close out this reference. Got my little alien down. Got my timer. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Alright, so I got my 80 by 80 canvas. So we're doing 8 by 8. And then we're going to change the background to 4 by 4. And then we're going to change the grid to 8 by 8. So this way I know what size my sprite is. All right. AAP64 is my favorite. Okay, we got everything. I'm gonna make this a little bigger. All right. Ready to start. Now I just gotta find my timer. 8 by 8. So he's got that little, oh my God, where's my reference? Can I move him over here? I got too many things, too many things. How's your, TikTok going? Got a big old head. 8 by 8 is so hard. It's just it's gonna be all body. TikTok's fun, man. It's just, I can't do it, man. My brain, like, I lose days in it. Maybe actually make his little head smaller, make a little stick body. But I like the short format. I just made the exact same size. I'm gonna do something like that. Maybe make his body a little bit wider. The main feature of this dude is his eyes. Or his eye. That guy's got extra eyes. And then they punish you for it because you haven't been active. It's funny how those things go. It's weird, man. All of it is weird. Social media, what it does to people, like what it does to projects, because it's like necessary. It doesn't look that bad with like tiny little legs. Big ol' eyes. They've got big ol' eyes. 8x8's interesting because like, so typically the strategy that I use is kind of do an outline or do the general shape of what I'm going after, and then start filling in the details. Well, that's the goal of what I try to do. Stupid algorithm, yeah. But it's funny because like, even if you are like, hey, I don't know, this is how it was. I have a different channel where I do pottery. And when I started it, I was just recording myself to record myself to help myself get better. And I had it on private for the longest time, but then I was trying to get captions so I could go back and see what notes I'd made myself, just verbal notes. Because I'm not good about going back and making notes in a notebook. And anyways, so then I shared it so I could get those captions automatically in. See, I'm getting distracted. And then almost for a minute there, I was like, oh, let me make stuff that people want to see. But I was like, no, that's not what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to get better at pottery. And so it was like a conscious effort that I had to make to like not get sucked into wanting to make pretty videos and entertaining things and stuff like that, because all of that takes energy. There's nothing wrong with that, but that takes energy. And my goal was to like get better at pottery. But that's what the algorithm does to you, you know, like once you get like that first like, you know, you want more. All right, so I have this little dude and he's got like his little eyes. Having like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get eyes. I could do it like this, I think. Somehow make it look like... This may be a better size. But he's got like not much of a neck. I kind of want to make that head even bigger. How would that be? So it'd be like a little bit darker back here as in the back of the head. And then This would be the eyeball. Do you do pixel art, Jen? Do you have any creative outlets? Well, your videos are creative outlets. That's what I'm doing here. This is my way of forcing myself to put the work in to get better. Because otherwise what happens is I don't do anything until we're working on a game, and then I'm like, oh, I don't know how to do this anymore. Dude, you could, I was thinking, Jen, you could practice art while I practice pixel art, and then you could share, like, you could do like a drawing version of whatever the prompt is, and you could share it on our Discord. That's one thing I have to say streaming is good for, is like, it kind of holds you accountable. I look more like a robot. Maybe I'll do like, that gray is not good. The 8x8s, I'm just gonna make as many as I can in this hour instead of working on the same one. All right, so what this one has that this one doesn't have, I would say, is this one's got like the little, actually kind of looks more like a, you know, antenna. What's your schedule like? Like, what do you, like, what kind of hours do you work? Let me just be nosy and ask you a bunch of personal questions. I'm sorry, feel free to say no, you can't, I don't want to answer those questions. Eyes up here kind of lost too. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. I like having a day off during the week. That way you can like have time to like do things, appointments and such. All right, I say this person is better, or this alien's better than this alien. I still really want to get, I don't know if it's possible, like how am I going to get those little eye things? I kind of feel like maybe if they were here and maybe they came out more on the side. There's a pixel artist I follow, Adam C. Eunice, and that's where I got the tip for getting like your outline first, and if your outline makes sense, then your shape probably makes sense and it's going to be readable. Alright, well... Alright, I'm gonna go forward again, like forward facing, but I should probably at the next one maybe have like a... Maybe make this all eyeball this time. Let's be a different one. Alright, this is the one I need then. We do it like Stardew Valley eyes, which they do 2 colors, like one lighter on the dark. It's like they'll have like that and that. Maybe not this big of a difference in the color though. But that's like a Stardew Valley eye. I want to change it though, the colors. Let's do brown eye. Color's my weakest point, absolutely weakest point. I've watched so many videos on color theory and like I get like, okay, you have the circle, and to find complementary colors, you like, you know, you just gotta look at the color wheel and go in straight lines and just draw shapes, and but I still don't know why. Like, why do those colors go together? And if I don't understand why, it's never gonna make any sense to me. Maybe I can make it so the eyeball kind of looks like it's behind their head. So if I did... Where'd you learn color theory? And do you have any, like, do you remember how it works, and can you teach me? My strategy has been, I've been going with these AARP, I'm sorry, not AARP, AAP fonts, Ajan Pollux. He's an artist and he does pixel art. Well, he does palettes. He's got them low sprite, and he's got these really good sheets on how to use them. So he's like, oh, if you're doing shade, these 2 colors and these colors all go together. I took art classes too, but they weren't that great. I mean, they were great, but it was just we were a small school, and the art teacher didn't have a lot of resources. She was a cool lady though, and I took the classes. I always enjoyed art. Right, got red, blue, and yellow. So those go like in a triangle. That's not a triangle. I'm already failing. And then what? Secondary colors are between. Right, so red and yellow make orange. Blue and yellow are green, right? Tell me. And blue and red are purple. I just have no confidence to be able to go. When I have a color wheel and not a palette already picked, I just get lost. So this is the 4 I have so far. What if I just did a small, like I said, I did a small eye. Small eye, that's the pupil and the... What software were you going to use, or are you going to use to practice your art? Like Procreate? Actually, and then this would be the shaded part. Yeah, I should do a challenge where I don't use a palette and see if I can do it and see how much like if I can just figure it out on my own. We have an iPad and we use the pen that comes with it. I have Procreate, and like I was like something we haven't really, again, something I didn't get good at. There's a lot of too many options. That's not a bad one. What if I just skip the things on his head? What happens then? What if I make just like a maximum sized? Oh, that's not what I want. Maximum sized eyeball. All eyeball. It's important to have the right tools. The iPad, I have to say, is probably my favorite thing to do pixel art on, because I don't have to be in front of a computer, but we have, and especially doing animations, there's one that I prefer to do animations, I forgot what's it called, Pixelate? Ooh, that's, we're getting somewhere with this eyeball. We're getting somewhere with this eyeball. This is a mean looking eyeball. I'm gonna change those eyes in a bit. All right, and they're wearing a spacesuit, eh? Let's make their spacesuit teal for now. I have no idea where that timer went. I have no idea how I'm doing on time. All right, half an hour? Okay, good. This should be a different color. That's awesome. You should share those. I'm not in love with this one. I thought I'd like that big eye, but I don't. I kind of feel like I need to fix the... What if I made one that was nothing but an eye, and then the tentacles were on top? I could do more of an oval. Yeah, Pac-Man and the Ghosts. They are. There's a really interesting video too about how they did the programming for the ghosts and how they all track the character in different ways to make it fun. It's super interesting. Like, I'm not a programmer, but just learning about the logic about how, like, it's just one ghost chases 2 spots ahead of the player, you know, one ghost chases behind the player, one ghost, you know, chases directly the player's sprite exactly, It's just, it was super clever. I don't know, something I never would have thought about. You know, I don't know, when you're just a user, sometimes you don't think about those things. It was funny when I watched it. I think I was driving, I was listening to it at the time. And I got home and I was like, Sean, did you know this about Pac-Man? And he was like, yeah. Yeah, it's very clever, wasn't it? And I was like, yeah. It's alright. That's what you do. Alright, I'm gonna make this little alien this color because I like it. And there's more shades of it available. And if I'm going with that, then that's really how it should be. Probably. I thought we already had one, but I obviously don't, because you know too. But I would like to. My goal is eventually like have people who want to participate in this like share and like share their art in a channel on our Discord, and just kind of have like a place for people to share. This looks weird here. Losing my focus. Does not look like an eye at all anymore. I need to go backwards. get one added. I'll get one added after I do this. It'll make me feel better too about sharing when I do this, because I don't want to like do announcements, because like we do retro gaming there, so like I don't, you know, want people to be able to control what they are subjected to. I think this is a better color. Oh, I see what I'm doing here. Okay. So this is the lighter color. I'm trying to use color theory. I'm looking over here and I'm like, okay, this teal, this light green. Oh, actually, it should be purple. Purple would be the color that's like across. I feel like this one's like even less eyeball head-like. Alright, so what if I do just make it nothing but Stardew Valley Eye? Like right here. That is the head. Oops. You like the one with light colors? That one? It's funny, like... It's like, I think it's with every art, like any art that people do, it's just, you get, you know, you see it a certain way, and it's hard to see it outside of your context. And you're like, oh, I see this. I feel like hello, no relevant skills. Yes, and we are the worst critics. I think, who is it? Tiny Squares guy. Brandon James Greer. He always says, like, one of his tips is always, like, let your art sit. Don't make any decisions, let it sit for 24 hours, don't look at it and then come back. It's excellent. Excellent, excellent tip. Let's make them gold. Let's get some different colors in here. All I see is squares. Like that's all I see when I look at this now. Like I feel like I go cross-eyed. There's a lot of similar things here. So many aliens. Such a funny difference between 8x8 and 32x32. 32x32, I was like scrambling to get it done, and 8x8, I was like, oh, let me draw a few more. How many can I crank out? Let's do green. And put them in order too. This was like 1. I think this was 2. 3. Gator bait, you alright? Alright. Down to this one. Let's do a green one. Huh, alright, so we've done, I kept on saying I was gonna do one with just the white eyeball. That was the white eyeball. I can try doing this again, but like, better. So is anyone playing along with me at all? 15 minutes is plenty of time to draw an 8x8 sprite. I'm gonna go yellow again. I know I said I was gonna do green, but I like yellow. Yay! Yay, Octoline Jen for playing along. Thank you. Now they have arms. That's an improvement. maybe one of my favorites. Maybe I can make one where the tentacles are the largest part. That's the largest eye. How much time? We got 10 minutes. We can do this. Yeah, that's how we're gonna do it. Let's make this alien purple. Background. Okay. Then we'll do we'll just use this one for now. Not working. Color's not working. We're gonna go back to orange and yellow because that was working. Back, we're gonna do bright yellow, medium, sort of darker. Looking down. Oops. Music. I think this particular one needs to be wider. It's not very readable as it is, so I'd like to take the same one. Cut this little eyeball in half, spread it out. Bring these little arms down. Aliens are one of my favorite things to draw. Aliens and spaceships. It was funny when we did Over the Moon. So I was like, we can't do any more aliens. We can't do more spaceships. And then they came out with the theme. And it was Over the Moon. I was like, no, we have to now. It's a sign. I feel like we need some more color choices down here. Oh, I was gonna make it more eyeball-like too, right? And the reason why I don't feel like it's very eyeball-like, I feel like it's missing a pupil. Yes, yes. It's so funny. It took us forever to come up with a story. It was... we kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. I liked it there. Like my eyes are crossed, like I can't compute anymore of what I'm looking at. I want to make a sequel, for sure. We've been trying to come up with, like, just talking about how we're going to make our next game, like, what's the strategy gonna be? And the biggest issue that we run into is paying bills. That or I learned to program, one of the two. They should actually be opposite. This should be over here. This is the darker of the two colors. I think... What am I doing on time? Oh crap, I got like less than a minute. I think I was going to bring this up. I'm gonna do is just get over this. A lot of colors in that eyeball. What's that from? All right, I hear you. All right, yay. Background color. That's not a good one. Darker. I'm gonna get rid of this grid too. Green's bad. Alright, we need search bar surface saturation, not saturated, and darker, and not used. Well, then it's a good joke. I like it. That's too bright. Alright, I think that's gonna do. So these are my little aliens. Oh wait, that's not what I want. I think that was the first one. My mouse is so bad. I've dropped it so many times that the roller sometimes works one way and then sometimes works the other. These are all kind of cute. I mean, 8 by 8's pretty small. I think Micromages was 8 by 8. Sean wants our next game to be 8 by 8. And I'm like, ugh. Inky, just for reference, Inky was, the tiles were 16 by 16. And the game that we're working on for Flora, those are actually 12 by 12, which is a little funky. trying to figure out which one I like. It's also hard to like evaluate pixel art on its own. Like, it's hard just to look at a sprite and say, that's a good sprite or that's not a good sprite, because so much of it is like what's on the scene to put it into context, you know, because we're playing tricks with the human brain saying, oh, you know, this square is, you're gonna just make it into a picture. Keep doing the same thing. But if I actually do an order of made, this was one. I think this one was two. I don't know if this is right, but I'm pretty sure that blue one came before. Thanks. They're 8x8 sprites, Jackie. I was trying to see, I set a timer for an hour. With 8x8s, I see how many I can usually do, because 8x8s go pretty quick. But when I do like 32x32 or larger, that's when I'm scrambling to get it done in an hour. I really should challenge myself to do a scene with the 8x8s, but I avoid what I should be doing, so. Thanks, yeah. Yeah, I shorten them to, I take these and I shorten them to like little shorts. But the stream himself is just for people who want to hang out and do pixel art or just any kind of art. Octling Jen's drawing instead. And the whole point of this is just to force the creativity out. So one of the things I do whenever I practice is I tend to get like, oh, I'm gonna do this, what I'm gonna draw, and then I spend hours looking up reference photos and all this other kind of stuff, when really my efforts for that day are meant to practice my skills. And while looking for reference photos also, I would say, a skill. We do game jams, and our next game that we do will probably be for a game jam. I think GB Jam is coming up in September. And so those are like, in those situations, you know, you really just want to crank out the art as quick as, you know, as possible. So doing these little practices, time practices, is a way to force me to make decisions and not redo something over and over again getting into the tiny details, because that's what I tend to do. I think I have these in orders that I made them today. And the reference photo, I have ChatGPT give me a prompt and a reference, so I don't even know. Yeah, GB Jam. It's a Game Boy inspired game jam. So last year we had 10 days to make it the game. All assets had to be made within those 10 days, and it was a Game Boy screen resolution, so it's like 144 by 160, I think, which is pretty hard. And then we had a 4-color palette limit, so that was fun. That was the first time I'd worked with a limit, and we did pretty good. That was our first game jam, and we got ranked 5, or 5th out of the 400 games submitted. Well, you should participate. If you get on Itch, that's where the game jam is hosted. They just updated the page, and it'll be GB Jam 12. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And there's a really cool streamer. I have to look and see. He streams on Twitch, but he sat down and played every one of the games and streamed it, which is like, that's a commitment. So yeah, you should follow it. I'm trying to think. Maybe I'll stream my art from whenever I work on it. I'll probably do that. And so yeah, and then we also have a Discord for retro releases. I'm trying to do it like every other day. I'm making an effort. We just moved, so I'm trying to get back into my pixel art and everything else. So maybe daily. That's what I'm kind of doing, daily to not quite daily. Yeah, that'd be cool. Hey, Travis, is this the Travis that I know? Haha! I hope you're doing well, man. Thanks. Yeah, it's something. I'm learning. I wouldn't say I'm good, but I'm good compared to where I started. So I was telling Jackie here about GB Jam, which is a game jam that we'll be doing. Oh, and then I was mentioning our Discord channel. So Oxling Jen, she pointed out she's part of our Discord channel, but the servers for promoting games that are what we call retro releases. So homebrews, games developed in the style of, or ideally would be for actually to be played on retro systems, but we also share just people who are making games for like just in retro styles as well. So it's just kind of like a place to like collect that info and keep track of what's going on in the as far as games, and we share any ones that we see and we support. But I'm gonna add a channel for art so people can share game art and things like that. Maybe build a little pixel art community. So if you have something you're working on, then you could drop it in the channel as well. In fact, I should probably do that right now. I think I can. will put a link to our Discord too. I just added it. Okay. And here we go. We are not living in a van. Sean, my husband, he was living in a van when I met him. He actually just recently sold the van, and I was not a supporter of that decision. That's our Discord, by the way. But he lived in the van for about 2 years, 2.5 years before I met him. He wanted to develop his own stuff, and so he quit his job, lived, you know, in a van for 2 years, and we just happened to meet. And we dated for like 6 months, and then he moved in, and then now it's like 7.5 years later. Yeah, Travis, to get to one of our games, like, you can go to itch. If you look at the description of this video, we have a link to our itch, and we have our games up there. The one that you'd be able to get on your system would probably be Inky. We've got a free demo for it, and then the game itself, and it's a ROM file, so you can load it. Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. It was very cool, and it's gone now, and I'm sad about that. We're thinking about doing another one though, but right now we have my vehicle, and what I would like to do is sell my vehicle and us buy like a minivan, and then turn that into a camper van. Thanks, Oxling Jen. You're amazing. Travis Paxton, Josh Price, he's gotten into retro arcades too. He's like in the maker thing, and he was making like a, you know, arcade, actual arcade. Well, it was like a kit that you would make, and then you could plug your Raspberry Pi into it, or it sets up around your Raspberry Pi, so it looks like an arcade. It was pretty cool. So yeah, oh, I was gonna share the art from today. Desktop. Oh, and then also, I'm also been streaming, I added the server, Jen. I added the server. Or I added the channel. I did. And then, oh wait, I gotta export this better. File, export as, apply pixel ratio, adjust size, export. I wanna probably export it somewhere stupid. Yeah, one of the things that we just got too, because we make video games, and then we also make physical games. We make puzzle games. Daughters is one of the games that we made. It's a block puzzle, and then also Pigpen, which is a logic puzzle. And then our first game was a card game, which is also a logic puzzle game. But we just got one of these massive laser cutters, so we can cut wood. plastic and stuff and start developing our games or manufacturing our games ourselves, because we had a game shop that said, hey, we love your game, but it's too expensive for us to buy and put it on the shelves. Like, you can sell it consignment, because we couldn't get down to a wholesale price, because how we would get them manufactured was that we had to do it over in China, because that's where all the, factories are. So by getting it ourselves, we can now manufacture ourselves and bring down the cost like significantly. So we're really excited about that. Yeah, man, that would be awesome. Is that where you live now? Is Pensacola? All right. Yeah, I've seen your photos. They're looking really great, man. I'm proud of you. You've always loved photography. It's cool to see people end up doing what they love. Well, that's all I got, guys. I may be back on later working on another project. So the other project that we're doing is we got permission from a developer, Anna Anthropy, and she said that we could port her game, Aunt Flora's Mansion, to the GBA. And so because we're porting, her game was done, the original, yeah, so it was 240 by 160. So it's like a Game Boy size was the resolution. But we're porting it to the GBA, which is 164 by, I'm not gonna remember off the top of my head, but it's larger and it's also a different shape. So we had to change the tile set. And so we're going from, the developer did 5 by 5 tiles and we're doing 12 by 12 tiles. So I have to redo all the art. So I may be on later streaming that. And so if you want to see how like some of the game development actually gets put together from the art, like actually gets into the game, we can do that. It was nice to see everyone. Oxling, Jen, Travis, it was good to talk to you. Jackie, it was nice to meet you. Hope to see you guys back. Thanks, y'all.